Just after 4 a.m., we met up with Chris Ragsdale on a dark and desolate road in St. Louis.
My goal is simply to get to Annapolis and get the finish, and I'll be happy. So no major issues. It's all been little stuff, you know. The knee issue was the big deal, and it took me a couple days to really recover from that. And they still ache bad, like when I'm standing on climbs. It's definitely a limiting factor. So.
And you have had moments where everything comes together and starts to feel new again. And
oh yeah, we're hammering and just feeling awesome. I mean, just like I said an hour ago, hammering with Billy was really cool. And I was racing a train earlier last night. The train comes up and starts to pass me right alongside the road, and I'm like, oh, he's not going that fast. I can do it. And so I crank it up, and I'm racing this train. I'm like holding the exact same pace as the train, and then I was slightly pulling up car by car to the front of the train again, and those guys were waving at me and honking the horn, and it was a blast. I had a really good time, and yeah, I've had a lot of really, really good times along the way. You know, I had a lot of tough times in Kansas, but you know, we had some wicked thunderstorms just north of us as we were cutting across, and then they ended up coming down to us, and it was like being in a tornado. It was really freaky. All of a sudden these winds just descended on us, and I was on the bike, not pedaling, doing 45 miles an hour with the grass just like shaking, fluttering on the sides of the road, and I'm just like holding it steady and just kind of coasting. And it was it's like riding this wave.
We spotted Franz Preihs just before Greensburg, Indiana. He had been sorting out a saddle issue and was now back in a groove and grinding out a steady pace. Henning Larsen was pushing through neck problems. He was passing a hilly section and was in and out of the saddle as Team Allied forces moved past him. Gerald Bauer had been laid out on the ground when we came across him. A knee that was locking up had stopped all forward momentum. His onboard team doctor worked out a solution, and soon he was up and pedaling. We got to talk with Keith Murray and Billy Edwards of Team Allied Forces. They explained the plans and goals for a record run into Annapolis. For anybody that doesn't know, they're sitting in a position where they're really poised to break a record in a big way, and now it's maybe you're trying to make sure that you break it as big as you can, and so you're making slight changes to the
yeah, we want to keep the average speed going, really, don't we, Billy? We want to get there sub 5:55, but also you know, increase the average speed as well.
You know, the third quarter of the race and the final, you know, can be pretty tough. So, you know, when we're out there for 8 hours, you know, that third quarter or that middle part of our ride or our shift, it always ends up probably being some of the slower pulls, slower turns. So this is going to go ahead and make sure that those are truncated and those are smaller. And we literally, having done 7 to 8 hours now, to be able to see from 0 to 4 or 3.5 hours or so is going to be a lot easier. And so we'll be able to keep up the speed and go ahead and punch through, and then quick off the bikes for 3.5 to 4 hours, and back on to go ahead and whip it on again.
What drives a man to compete in this race? I've followed this race now in a film crew setting, in a car, watching out the window, seeing what's going on at night, the daytime. We're not all the way to the finish yet, and I've seen a lot out of the teams. I've seen a lot out of the personnel, the terrain and the weather, and most importantly, I've seen the effects it's had on some of the solo guys that came in as like just powerful, successful ultra cyclists that have done this a lot more than I'm gonna get a chance to in my lifetime. I need to prepare for this more than I've prepared for anything else that I've done physically and mentally. And in sections, everything looks really good, but like in the big picture, it looks really overbearing. But I'm definitely lucky that I've been able to come see this, and at the same time, I feel kind of excited that I've taken this on now. Christoph Strasser has broken the Ram solo race record. Steady and extremely solid may best define this incredible performance. After taking over the lead on day one, Christoph consistently rode away from the field at a pace no one could match. Make sure to check out the Ram Report with Dave Toll tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for all the latest standings and action from the road.